Remember, they're changing my voice. Keep in mind, we live in a society that gaslights people, where political activists gang up on people. They rape them, they kill them, they abuse them. Fraternities roofie people's drinks. Okay, not every single last one of them, as far as I know at least, but it happens. There's all kinds of problems out there. All kinds of abusive families. There's fucking cults everywhere these days. Cults. Not just social clubs and you know, the kind of fraternities that historically used to get together to lynch black people, but all kinds of cults. The networks of people we see here today in America are very much malicious groups. There isn't a single group I can think of that is benevolent. They're controlled opposition, maybe some charity group at best. But why are they allowed? And why don't they do more? People other than me simply do not have the judgment, the proven judgment, to make a call on whether someone should be forced into treatment in so many cases. There are people, even though I've been making thousands of videos, of sound moral videos, I've proven that I have a more respectable life than anyone that's ever lived. There are people that would try to get me into treatment. It is fucking outrageous. They have no viable counter-argument. For me being the most moral person that ever lived, I made thousands of videos making that argument on various websites. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, you name it. Some other sites as well. Now you got to understand there's a thin line between effective and logical law enforcement and just rape cult bitch shit. Where if you don't date somebody, they say throw them into a psych ward. If you blow the whistle, psych ward. Martha Mitchell, the whistleblower effect. The Rosenhan experiment proved that psychiatrists don't know what the fuck they're talking about, even when it comes to schizophrenia. And how do you fuck that up, right? The most severe psychiatric disorder. And they prove definitively they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And all throughout history, Eurocentrics have proven that they fabricate studies, especially big pharmaceutical companies, with their sexual and political agendas. If you don't know I'm right, you've lost your fucking mind. And furthermore, when we consider drapetomania, people used to be drugged for running away from the plantation. They called it drapetomania. Samuel Cartwright, I believe it was the one who added that psychiatric disorder to the despicable processes of the oppressive state. And so we see a society where people are using inflation and the problems it causes. They're using poverty to force people to do things they don't want to do. People sleep with their bosses just to get by. People turn to prostitutions just to feed their families, when for affordable wealth taxes, we can make sure everyone's fed and housed. It is fucking sick what they're doing right now. Never in my life I've even heard anything as sick as America in 2024 being as oppressive as it is. And their policies on the Middle East, laughable and disturbing. And they're sending Israel another $20 billion worth of weapons. Okay? Is America a place where we massacre the innocent for neo-colonial nations and call it, the most pure cultural values? It's sick. I can't think of anything that's being done in this country on a large scale that isn't fucking sick. And I see the apathy, the indifference of the masses of Americans. Okay? As kids are being molested at record levels, sextortion rose during the pandemic, it's probably still sky high right now. They use the internet to shun the most righteous person that ever lived and to sextort women all over the place. They use the internet to fabricate evidence with the deep fakes. These people have the power to falsify text messages, to falsify videos, to make it seem like you're a terrorist. They have the power to set you up to look like a terrorist, do the mass shooting themselves to some CIA agent or something, and then turn around and say this guy said this on his site, this is the evidence, and lock you up for it. This is no place to reproduce, nowhere on this planet, especially because the West is influencing it. And I'm not a big fan of China or Iran or any of these other countries. But these are the facts here. Because you people are so quick to say, yes, sir, right away, sir, yes, massa, from every race. Instead of saying, over my dead body, we've gotten to such a despicable point. Because you won't rally to me, you rather rally to Donald Trump and controlled opposition politicians and people in cults. It's gotten to this point. The people you look up to have failed you dramatically. All but me if you're one of my viewers. Because I am the top. And if I was in charge of this country, I would have made all the bullshit stop.